Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I'm going to show you around the National Liberty Museum and then also show you other things that are in the neighborhood. The National Liberty Museum is right across the street from Independence Square, I think they call it, where all the original government buildings are and many other museums. So first, let me show you around the museum, and then I'll come outside and show you more of what is in the neighborhood here. So let's go on in. The museum has 4 floors. This is the top floor. So I'm going to start up here and work my way down. And there are several things on display here that they're calling White House China. I'm not sure what that means. Some are art pieces like that, and bet you can't guess what this is. That's the Flame of Liberty. And this guy has got quite a long reach. This timeline is a history of the museum itself. And here's some more White House China items. Irvin Borowski, I'm not familiar with, but this tells about him. And this is his first printing press that he got at age 12. And this is interesting. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a game of chess or what. Interesting characters. There's a couple nice glass art pieces. This tells you why glass, and well, we are like glass. Irvin Borowski was the man who started the museum. And this tells you more about it. And here's more about him. And there's a bust of him. And these are people who are supposed to show inspiration, including Donny Osmond. If you read that, I guess you'll find out. Marlee Matlin, you probably know her, and Muhammad Ali. I'm sure you know these 4. And here's 8 of them. You might not expect to be on the list, but they are.
In your voice.
And here's a list of peace seekers. I recently heard about this man who was one of the original computer scientists, who never got really the credit he deserved for what he did. A lot of world leaders here. There's a nice piece of art. They have a representation here of Anne Frank's bedroom, and that is her diary, or at least a representation of it. And other than some art pieces, I'm seeing here that the large majority of this museum is just reading about people. What I do sometimes when I learn about interesting people in a museum like this, I just make note of it, watch my video later, and then look them up on Wikipedia to read about them at my leisure. That's a nice sculpture there. And look at this big piece that goes from the ceiling way down to the floor below us, where I'm going next. Here's a very brief story about Mandela. And there's a sculpture of him in his prison cell. Just an almost unbelievable story of him. And this is an exact replica of the Liberty Bell. I don't think it's actually cracked though. Let me show you underneath it. There's the clinger. Although I think the correct term is clapper. Here's that big art piece from the bottom up. Well, now I'm on the bottom floor, and they have here a really odd piece of artwork. I've never seen a head like that before, and this one with all that on it, I don't know what the story is behind that. This is all it says. Those are all like nails, tacks, and got there's like a bullet in the forehead in both of them. Must be an interesting story behind this. And here's a pair of flip-flops I would not want to wear. I think I would throw those away. Well, folks, that is it in the museum. I thought it was going to be a lot more than this. So now I'm going to go and show you more of what's outside in the neighborhood. Right next door to the Liberty Museum there is the Science History Institute, which you can tour if you're interested in that. Right behind the National Liberty Museum here is the Benjamin Franklin Museum. So you can go in and see that if you want. And they have a really nice courtyard here in front of the Benjamin Franklin Museum. And then right across the street is the Museum of American Revolution. And they have several of these signs that direct you to other things of interest that you might want to visit while you're here. And you can do it all on your own, or you can sign up for a guided tour to take you around and explain things better.
To get their money. How can we do that?
So this lady is guiding a tour. This was originally the first federal bank, and then later it became other government offices. And if you can translate that into numbers, here's a plaque that tells more about it. And there's two more museums right around the corner that you might be interested in. Independence Hall, where the real Liberty Bell is just 2 blocks away. So this neighborhood is a center of everything that most people come to Philadelphia to see. So you can make a full day of it easily, maybe 2 days. So I hope you've enjoyed my tour of the museum and the neighborhood here. Good day, folks.